Hi there, I'm Rhonda, and I help makers turn their digital designs into income. On my channel, you'll get quick tutorials, cool tools, and simple strategies to grow your digital product business. If you want daily AI prompts, trend tips, and a fun community that gets it, join us in our AI Profit Society. I left a link in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. And now, without any further delay, let's get into today's video. Hey guys, in this video we are going to create some camping themed clip art. Then we're going to head into Canva and I'm going to show you a couple different ways to use this clip art that we create. Okay, and if you stick around to the end, I'm going to share a link with you where you can download the prompts I've used today and the clip art that we have generated for your own use. Alrighty, so let's jump right into it. We're going to be using Artistly version 5 today. All right, they've just released this update and it's a really nice one. So this is what we're going to use today for our clip art. All right, so I am here in AI Image Designer V5 and we are going to use create from prompt. So I'm going to click that, and I do already have my prompts in another window here. Like I said, at the end, I will share a link where you can download the prompts I'm using and the clip art that goes with them. So I'm going to generate my first image here. And I'm just going to generate a few of these, and then we will download them and move on to Canva. Okay, our first one here is the vintage camper, and I think I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to download it. Now, I am not doing any upscaling or anything like that in here. I'm just grabbing it just the way it is. We'll do the rest in Canva. So I'm going to hit save on that one. And now I'm going to grab my next prompt. And we're going to go back to Image Designer 5. Paste this in. I want 4 images, so I have a few to choose from. Generate. Okay, and now we have a tent. I think I like this one. Let's download this. Okay, and we'll move on to our next one. I think I'm going to do a sleeping bag here next. Let's paste that one in. 4 images and generate. Okay, and I think I like this one. It's rolled up, which is what I wanted. So we'll put this in here. Okay, and let's see what else. The backpack. And we're just going to repeat this, obviously, for a few more, just till we get as many as I think we're going to need. Okay, and here's our backpack. I think I like this one. Let's look at that. Yep, that's the one we're going to go with. Backpack. And we have a stool here. Okay, so we generated this stool here, and in the interest of time, I went and ran the rest of the prompts, and now we can just go through and download the ones we want. I figured there was no sense you sitting here watching me run prompts over and over again, and I'll just pick the ones I want now. I think I like this one. So we'll download this. And then the canoe. And then let's take a look at these. I think this one. And this lantern. And then we have a cooler here. I think this one. And let's go with, I think I'm going to take two of these. I like this one and this one here. And then we have finally the stool, and we're going to do this one. Alrighty, so we have all of our images downloaded. Let me show you where we have them. Okay, there's all of our images, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Alrighty, so now we're going to head over to Canva, and we are going to create a new design, a custom size. We're going to make it 1600 by 1600, okay? And what we're going to do is upload all of these images to Canva. So let me grab them, and I'm just going to pull all of them over and drop them in and let them upload. And what we're going to do with these right here is we are going to create a sticker set, okay, using Canva. So I am going to take my 1600 by 1600 page here, my canvas, and I'm going to give it a gray background just so I can see better when my backgrounds are removed and I put my sticker border on. Alrighty. So we're going to duplicate this page. Oops. We're going to duplicate this page a few times because we have 12 stickers. So we're going to duplicate it 12 times. Alrighty, so there we have 12 canvases that are 1600 by 1600. So let me grab my first image here, my camper, and we're just going to hit remove BG, and that looks great. Now we're going to make this bigger. Alrighty, and we're going to go to edit, shadows, outline. We're going to change the outline color to white. And you can make this as big as you want it. I like to make it right around 40. And there you have a camper sticker, okay? So once that's done, we'll click on Edit again. And you want to make sure you're upscaling these images, okay? Let's go back. Image upscaler. Here we go. And we're going to do this 4 times. Going to upscale, and then we'll move on to our next image. And I'm upscaling it in here because I'm going to show you a trick when we download, how you can download at 300 DPI from Canva, because that's typically not something we can do. When you download a design, it's usually, I believe, 7296 DPI. But when we download these today, they are going to be 5,000 by 5,000 pixels in size, and they are going to be 300 DPI. Okay, so this has upscaled, and we're just going to click replace. And it's going to replace this image with our upscaled version. Alrighty, fantastic. Now we can move on to the next page, and it is our backpack. Remove BG. And again, we can make this bigger, stretch it to fit the canvas, edit, shadows, outline, 40, and white. Now this one you might want to make even a little bigger if you don't want that hole there, or the other thing you could do to fix that, if you don't want to make this border any bigger, go to Elements, go to Shapes, make that shape white, move it here, and send it backward. Okay, and that fills that in. You see that? You don't have to worry about making this border huge. All right, so again, now what we're going to do, oops, let's move that back in place. We are going to select this, and we are going to edit, upscale, and 4 times. Okay, and again, just click replace, and it will replace our image with the upscaled version. Let's move on to the next. Let's do our camping chair, background remover. And you just repeat this process for all of your images that you brought in. Okay, so in this case, we're making the sticker set. You can just make the clip art itself. You don't have to make the sticker sets if you don't want to. Again, here we have another one where the border isn't filling in all the gaps. So with one of these, I might make this one a little bigger, just like that. Can do that, and that fills everything in. Otherwise, it would be a real pain to add all that extra white to fill these in. I mean, you can, it's up to you. You could go through with a brush or something like that. Let's go to edit and see what we could do here to add this. Yeah, I would just say make the outline on this one a little bigger to fill all those gaps in, okay? Once you do that, again, edit, upscale 4 times, and we'll just repeat this. So I'm going to do the rest off camera, so we're not sitting here for, a half an hour doing all these images. I'm going to run the rest real quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I did all of the ones that I wanted, and I put the borders on. So now we're going to download these. All right. Now I did some of them. Remember I told you how important upscaling was. Well, I'm going to show you why it's important to make sure you upscale before you download these. All right. So some of these I did upscale, some I didn't. So I can show you the difference. But we're going to download these now. And before we download, we are going to increase the size to 5,000 by 5,000 pixels. Transparent background, and we're going to download this. And it will zip it up, and it'll take a couple minutes because it's, a pretty big file now. Okay. And we are going to save this right in here. Camping, save. All right. Now I am going to unzip this and extract to camping. Alrighty. Now we're going to go in here to Photoshop, and I'm going to show you why it's important to why it's important to um, upscale. Sorry. All right, so we're going to go in here to the camping folder, and I am going to pull in the sleeping bag. We're going to go up here, image size, and you see it is 300 DPI. And if we look at the image zoomed in to 100, it's still nice and clear and everything looks good, okay? But now I'm going to take one of the ones that I didn't upscale, all right? Let's take the campfire. We're going to pull that in here, all right? We're going to come up here to image, size, and you see it is 300 DPI. But look how blurry everything appears when we look at it, okay? And that is because we did not upscale this one. So upscaling your images before you download them is super important, all right? But if you've upscaled everything, you downloaded it, you have it in its folder, that is a set of stickers ready to sell. All right, just that quickly. Now here's another thing we can do with this camping clip art. All right, let's go back to the Canva homepage and let's do camping checklist. Let's search here. And Canva has a bunch of templates that are already pretty much ready to go for you, okay? And you can look through these and find, here we go. Here's a camping adventure. Let's look, let's find free ones, okay? Because if you don't have a pro account, you are going to want free. Here we go. Packing checklist. This one is a packing checklist. We want a camping checklist. And this one looks free here. Okay, so let's grab this one. And we're going to customize this template. All right. And we are going to get rid of some of these funky shapes. I mean, they're cute for the design that's here, but we're not doing that. Okay. We can leave some of this other stuff here if we want. I'm not a big fan of these stars for our purposes, but now we can come over here to uploads, okay? And we can grab our own. Now we don't want the sticker version. We'll grab this, remove the background from it, and we can put this anywhere in here, okay? We can take this camper, put it there. We're going to send it to the back. We can make it bigger. And let's go that way. And we can adjust the opacity on it a little bit so it blends in more. Um, you can get rid of these. I'm not a big fan of that either. But again, I just don't like how they look with this with these images that we're using. Okay, and it looks like we've got some overlays here. You can leave them or you can get rid of them. It's up to you. But again, we're just going to bring in some of our own camping clip art and put on this checklist. And again, we will send this to the back. Actually, that one, let's look over here at our layers. Where do we want to put this one? Let's bring that up here, okay. And then we will reduce the opacity a little bit so that even if it is above that note section there, you can still see it. And we can add, again, we can just add whatever we want to this and make this our own template, our own checklist. And where are we going here with this? Let's take that down. Yeah, we can put that one behind. And you can edit this however you want. And when you're done, you can download this and you can sell this as a camping checklist of your own. Okay. So you don't have to start from scratch with these, but you are using your images that you've created and making it more you. But some of the hard work has already been done. Canva does have some very nice templates that they have put together. Let's make that a little bit smaller there. And let's go to effects and outline. I think I want to use a lighter color. There we go. And maybe even reduce the transparency a little bit on that. So you could do something like that. If you do have a pro account, you can look at all of these and pick one that may suit you a little more. This one here, here's a camping checklist. Let's customize this one. Let's see, we've got these little icons here. We can get rid of those. And we could use our lantern. Just get rid of that. And let's pop our lantern in here as the little icon. We could do that. Okay, there's our icon in there. Let's close this out here. Let's zoom in a little bit more here. And then down in the bottom, let's replace that tent with our tent. And that sign, let's replace with the map here. And again, let's move it to the back. Let's reduce the opacity a little bit on these so they're not quite so, I don't know, bold, I guess is the word I'm looking for. This is going to drive me nuts, though, that these are not lined up the way I think they should be. Okay. And now let's get rid of this mountain down there and let's bring in our camper. Remove the background. Let's make this a lot bigger. Center it. Send it to the back. And then reduce the opacity on that quite a bit so you can still read the checklist. Okay, and then we can just add some more of our clip art scattered around this checklist. Okay, we'll reduce the opacity again so it doesn't look quite so bold and bright against the background here. In fact, I'm going to get rid of these three. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. And we did, in fact, reduce the opacity on it. So that one looks, I think, much better now. And we'll drop these in place. And then you can, update the positioning of them after you have them in there. In fact, this I think needs to go down a little bit more. Same with this one, just a little more. But now you have a camping checklist that, used your um, clip art that you created, and it just, fits your personality a little bit better, but you didn't have to take the time to create this from scratch. You had the basics in here and you were able to work with them. You can change that or get rid of that one. And let's look and see what else we want to put on here. How about the camp cooler? Make that smaller, bring that over here. Right here, we'll put that next to cooking since it's a cooler. We'll reduce the opacity again. And there you have it. Now you have a checklist that you can download. You can sell this in your Etsy shop as a printable. You can give this away as a freebie, especially now it is camping season. This, printable would be a great um, lead magnet to entice people to sign up for your mailing list. But you didn't have to spend more than just a few minutes customizing the template that Canva already had available for you. Alrighty. So I just wanted to show you that today. We made some clip art here in Artistly, and we made two different products out of it, within about a half an hour. And I promised you if you stuck around to the end, I would give you a link where you could download the clip art that we made today and the prompts. So I will be adding a link down at the bottom here um, where you can grab those. And before we go, I wanted to show you over here. Here I have 20 camping themed digital product ideas. All right. So with that one set of clip art we made, you could come through here. We have the clip art bundles. So we already made the clip art. Now you can just turn it into a bundle. We already made it into a sticker pack, and we already used it for camping checklist. So there was 3 products right away. You can take some of these and turn them into a tumbler wrap. You could easily, let's do this over here. I mean, this is just going to be a real quick thing. I mean, I'm not even really, let's take these images here, and you could just arrange them randomly and turn this into a tumbler wrap that just has randomly placed camping themed items on it. You could do it that way. You could just add one of these and add some text to it and create a tumbler wrap. Okay. You could turn these into SVG design elements. Just get rid of the color, turn them black and white. Uh, Journal printables, okay, we just did the checklist, so that would fall into that. Coloring pages, camping quotes, printable campfire recipe book, okay, so you could make some printable recipe cards. Sticker sheet, we did that. You could do a digital paper pack using these um, clip arts we made. In fact, let's show you how easy that would be to do. We are going to do 8.5 by 11. Okay, create a new design. Let's look for a weathered paper background. And let's look at these. And you know what? Let's filter this by free, just so, if you are not on the pro account, here we go. Um, let's turn that 90 degrees. Let's make that fit. Set as image background. Alrighty. And let's grab an overlay here. Not so sure. Yeah, let's turn that one 90 degrees. Bring that in so it fits. Let's change the color on that though. We want that to, let's see. Okay, I like that, how that is. And now let's go to our uploads and let's grab the backpack, background remover, and you can just make this just like that. Drop that opacity way down, and there is a camping theme digital paper. All right. So again, there are just so many different things you can do here. You can make the whole bundle. Let's grab this background remover, move that down to a corner. And again, you have a digital paper background. Okay. So you can make a whole bundle out of these clip arts we just made. There's just so many different things you can do with them. All right, camping party invitations. Well, you already have the clip art, so you could absolutely make invitations. Camping bucket list. You could do that. That's easy too. Camping planner pages, a sublimation shirt design, um, flashcards for kids, uh, campground review sheets, camping bucket list wall art, camping badges for kids. So there's just a bunch of different ways you can take this one set of clip art that we just made and turn it into a variety of products for your Etsy shop without doing a whole lot of work, okay? So that's what I wanted to show you guys today. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Um, Otherwise, I'll see you next time. And don't forget, there will be a link here for these clip arts that we made and the prompts for them.